brought the world together. You have the right to decide. Pull the rope, or cut the noose. But whatever you do, don't hesitate. I'm ready, Sam Strand. Make your choice.
Wait. I don't know what to do.
Sure you do. After everything, how could you not? Wait here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
President Bridget Strand. So you finally invited me to the beach. Remember this? It's the same gun. And now I'm using it to make things right. You were supposed to make the world whole, not fuck it all up.
Okay then. Get on with it. There is no atonement. Not for us.
It can't be. Is that really you? Yes. It's me. John. I'm so sorry. Give me back my BB.
You're looking in the wrong place.
BB!
Emily?
The game should be over by now, but as I was approaching the Edge Knot City, I wasn't exactly feeling fulfilled in a certain way. I didn't feel empowered or grandiose as I got to defeat the man who opposed me for so long. Instead, I rather felt empty. The final boss is always the climax of the video game structure, but this time it was self-fulfilling, hollow even. Even though I felt the tension between the rope and the stick, it never felt right. I defeated Higgs. I subjugated the villain. I saved the princess. Yet he responded with,
"Oh, congratulations. You won the game. Too bad you didn't stop shit."
It takes me back to this scene, which went over people's heads for some reason.
Do you still believe in me? Even without Higgs, I am a walking time bomb. But what I want, what I have always wanted, was to be a part of it. For us all to be one. What?
Tell me the truth. Was this all for you or all for Bridget?
This is for our country. For our future, that is the truth. There's something that you need to know, Sam. When you were back east, I slipped out of here and I went to visit you.
What? You lied? Fuck me. You have any idea what it took for me to get here?
You wouldn't have come if I hadn't. You didn't care about America or bridges. But we did know one thing you did care about. Something you were willing to cross a continent for. A reason to build the UCA. It was Die Hard Man's idea.
Great. So I'm Mario and you're Princess Peach. Oh, you're right. I never gave a shit about this country. I have no ties to anything or anyone but you.
I'm so sorry, Sam. But it all worked out in the end.
Higgs seemed like a great villain at first. Just like Amelie's captivity seemed like something ripe for rescuing.
I've kept things from you.
But to grasp the game, we'll have to rewind even further to the place where video games were born as we know it.
Me, Mario!
35 years ago, Super Mario Bros. Had come out. Its premise was eerily similar. Black magic, a country in ruin, traversing a nation, citizens turned into obstacles and emotionless bricks, a protagonist vulnerable to simple touch, the daughter of a ruler in need of a rescue to save the country from annihilation. You pick up golden trinkets from the fallen foes, just like every time we urinate. Toadstool mushrooms grow to harbor cryptobites which, when consumed, restore health, just like another mushroom we know of, right? Just like Princess Peach was initially conflated with Toadstool, her domain, so is Amelie the ruler of America, and subsequently the bitch. For the Sam is Mario, the blue coral worker, tasked with great things, and Amelie's Princess Peach then is Higgs Bowser?
Run?
Yeah. Like Mario and Princess Peach.
Sam, you helped us extend the chiral network from coast to coast. And you dealt with Higgs, the UCA's enemy number one. We couldn't have come this far without you. But there is still one final step. We have to swear in a new president and establish a functioning government.
Why don't you save that shit for someone who cares? I've done my part. Fuck America. We've got bigger problems now.
I hear you, Sam. Government is the least of our concerns at this point. Cliff has Amelie, which means there may not be anything left to govern come tomorrow. If tomorrow comes at all.
Then why aren't we out there doing something about it? I don't care what she is, only that we get her back.
Sam, everyone's here but you.
You okay?
Never been better. Oh. Delivering so many people in such a short amount of time is new.
Mama.
Yeah, I'm here too. Figured I should lend a hand.
We're all waiting for you, Sam.
No way in hell am I hauling myself all the way back there. Come on, Fragile. Let's do this.
I can't, Sam. And not just because I'm a wreck. It isn't safe to use the beaches to move people anymore.
Chiral spikes have become far more frequent, possibly as a result of expanding the network nationwide. Too many beaches sharing the same space, wires get crossed, and so forth. You can see the toll it's taking on the network itself.
With things the way they are, it's too dangerous to risk jumping through a beach. Even if I reach a beach, there's no telling where I'll come out on the other side. and I could get stuck in there.
The good old days when you had to travel on foot, and your enemies were easier to define as well.
Seems like you know a lot about him.
Used to work together. Guess you could say we had a contract.
You did business with terrorists? Whoever pays, huh?
He wasn't like that back then.
I think Cliff might be Lou's father. He said, give me back my BB.
Impossible. Cliff was born.
He gave me this. Maybe he's trying to tell us something. It didn't feel like he was trying to hurt us. It felt like he just wanted to talk. What happened?
The chiral network dropped out.
So all our hard work was for nothing.
Let me finish what I was saying, Sam.
I'll tell him. I had a little chat with Higgs back on the beach. Didn't take much to make him talk.
He say why he betrayed you?
He said it was part of her plan.
What?
She was their leader. The terrorist voidouts, the whole extinction agenda, Amelie was behind it all.
Like hell she was.
I know you don't want to believe it, but it lines up with what Die Hard Man said. Higgs turned on me after he met Amelie. At first, he was looking to expand his territory, and I had a power he could use. At least, that's how he ended up working with me. He was no terrorist. He just wanted to reach more people. But then she shows up with abilities that put mine to shame. Hell, she could even control BTs. So Higgs decides to go with her. And that's when she turned him into her agent of extinction.
Amelie gave Higgs his power.
Yep, she made him her homo demons.
What about Bridget? You care to tell me what she was doing on the beach? You got an answer for that too?
I know it's a lot to swallow. But Higgs said himself that Amelie is an extinction entity. I looked inside his pod, and there was no BB in there. Take a good look at what was. It's the same doll Die Hard Man had. This is their bridge baby. There's this idea that the terrorists brought back BB tech and Bridges was just following suit. It's garbage. Their methods and yours are completely different. Your BB links you to the world of the dead. Their doll links them to Amelie and her beach.
You know who else had dolls like this? Cliff. He was carrying them on the battlefields. Cliff, Higgs, the director. All three of them were drawn in and controlled by this extinction entity. And who is this EE really? Is it Bridget? Is it Amelie?
All I can say is that the answers are on the beach. What she wants and why.
If we get to the bottom of that, then maybe we can still avert the last stranding.
You've got to find her, Sam.
Whoever she really is.
She's waiting for you on the beach. Hurry back east.
A powerless orphan young boy cared for by a mysterious woman, eventually given powers to tower the gods and the game itself, able to summon every shaped particles like they're polygons of a little video game. A man rejected by the world and given an unremarkable porter job, eternally resentful at the better man. For finding his hideout, you earned the trophy Go-Getter. Don't you get it? Higgs is a simp, turned a doomer. Despite his power, he can't stop what's coming. Timefall washes everything away.
I got a proposition for you. If all you want is to save yourself, you just have to do it. However, if you want to see this altruistic streak of yours through, then you'll have to carry my meat to the bottomless pit. Impossible. You'll be the city's savior. Trade a lot of your time for a little bit of the city's? Hell, seems like a fair exchange to me.
Well, there it is. You are a goddamn hero.
I'm not a hero, Sam.
Defeating annihilation isn't a matter of merely beating a man and rescuing a princess. Evil isn't vanquished through warlike means. Our very selves can become corrupted and kill us within an entirely invisible manner. Before we reach the climax of the story, it's important to establish what Kojima's previous works have dealt with and how they informed Death Stranding. Metal Gear Solid 2 in 2001 that dealt in the creation of fake news, information redaction, internet tribalism, and the breakdowns from facts and fiction.
The S3 plan does not stand for Solid Snake Simulation. What it does stand for is Selection for Societal Sanity.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility
is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country. Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
2004's Metal Gear Solid 3, showing the cyclical nature of political enemies and shifting interests, leading to the rewriting of history through propaganda after the Cold War.
The world used to be whole. But with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves, and the world was torn apart. The Cobras, my comrades who trained and fought alongside me, were torn apart as well. The foibles of politics and the march of time can turn friends into enemies just as easily as the wind changes. Ridiculous, isn't it? Yesterday's ally becomes today's opposition. And this Cold War? Think back. When I was leading the Cobras, America and Russia were fighting together. Now, consider whether America and Russia will still be enemies in the 21st century. Somehow I doubt it. Enemies change along with the times, the flow of the ages, and we soldiers are forced to play along. I didn't raise you and shape you into the man you are today just so we could face each other in battle. A soldier's skills aren't meant to be used to hurt friends. So then what is an enemy? Is there such a thing as an absolute timeless enemy? There is no such thing, and never has been. And the reason is that our enemies are human beings like us. They can only be our enemies in relative terms. The world must be made whole again.
2015's Metal Gear Solid 5 showed the creation of an invisible threat that spreads through the globalization of the English language, threatening to destroy wherever the West has spread its roots, including people's throats and tongues. I recall a section of the game where you had to isolate infected individuals along those who were asymptomatic based on their shared tongue.
It's infecting my men. How do we
Silence. Or death. Sustained exposure to a particular sound triggers copulation. The resulting larva then feast on the host lungs, killing it. The particular sound. His words.
Do not let anyone showing symptoms get outside. As infection progresses, it triggers an overwhelming urge to get out in the open. That's the parasite controlling them. Once outside, the birds will feed on infected bodies, spreading the parasite on land.
Boss! Boss! Hey! Let's let the boss decide. We live and die by your order, boss. Boss!
It's your fault! They're dead because of you!
What? He's right. I killed him with my own hands.
Solutions to these problems aren't so obvious as a man and a dragon waiting to be slain. So Kojima shows a multitude of responses to each problem by the different characters, but he always concludes that no matter what, the human will prevail these problems, be it genetic destiny, loneliness, globalization, modernity.
The human race will probably come to an end sometime, and new species may rule over this planet. Earth may not be forever, but we still have the responsibility to leave what traces of life we can.
Sam!
You're back. It must have been one hell of a journey, especially on your own. But now the whole team is together again.
The whole team? Die Hardman too?
Too much traveling to and from beaches in such a short span. Chiral matter contaminated her cells, effectively causing jet lag on a molecular level.
Sam, you made it. Thanks. Looks like you need me after all. Who'd have thought? Anyway, clock's ticking. Am I right?
You're in no condition to do this. It's not fair to you or Sam.
In my own search for Amelie's Beach, I have come to realize something extraordinary. If beaches were likened to a multiverse, hers would appear to exist on a higher plane than ours. I can walk the beaches of others, but hers is beyond my reach. It's invisible, inaccessible, even to fragile, I fear. Imagine it as a circulatory system, if you will. Each of our beaches is a single capillary. But Amelie's Beach is the heart that pumps blood to the rest of us, which dictates flow, which dictates everything, controls everything. Don't you see? She is in control. You may be able to travel against the flow and reach her, but having done so, if she does not wish to let you go, if she wishes to keep you, she can.
Fragile and Die Hardman broke free from her beach, didn't they?
I don't think it was any different from what happened to you. I didn't get out because I wanted to. I was forced out, repatriated, if you will, by her.
Forced out? Why?
This is only a theory, but she wants you to go to her. That's her final wish, don't you think?
So that's it, huh? Amelie's the EE, and this is her endgame. If I want to stop the last Stranding and come back in one piece, I need to go to her beach and talk her out of it. That about right?
Correct. As cliche as it sounds, you're our only hope. Though quite frankly, I doubt even you can change her mind.
If you can't make her see reason, you'll have to kill her. And if you kill her...
You'll save the world, but you'll be stranded outside of it. Forever.
I'll talk to her. Maybe she'll listen. But with the shape the world's in, it'll only be delaying the inevitable. Still, if it buys us time to try and build something better, a new lease on life, at least for a little bit, well, I can think of one woman who made the most of a chance like that. Nothing lasts forever, not even the world. But we gotta keep it going as long as we can, right? Patch the holes, change the parts, all that. So we can say we had a good run, that we lived.
Thought you didn't like having to handle things with care.
'Cause it was hard enough keeping my own shit together. Back when we met at the cave, the only thing I cared about was making it to the next sunrise. Sure as hell didn't care about America or the future. I was living a lie, hung up on past regrets. I was broken. But somewhere along the way, I started changing. Started meeting people that made me think that maybe it wasn't all bad. People that put their faith in tomorrow, and in me. That kept the lights on, and waited for hope to arrive. So I gotta deliver, for their sake.
Even if it means you never come back?
Fucked if I do, fucked if I don't, right? care of Lou.
I will.
Kid's done enough. No more.
Okay, concentrate. Reach for her, Sam. Feel her. I know you love her. You love her! There!
The last stranding has already begun.
Amelie?
You're too late. What took you so long?
Your voice.
You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
Sam. I knew you'd come back. Sam, listen to me. I love you, Sam.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach. I've been waiting for you, right here, ever since. You were supposed to stop me. Stop all of this.
Bridget?
Yes. It's me, Sam.
Where's Amelie?
Where she's always been. Nowhere. My daughter, Samantha America Strand, doesn't exist. Amelie and Bridget are both a part of me.
What's this supposed to mean?
Quiet, and I'll tell you. There is no time for questions. Listen. Do you understand, Sam? Amelie and Bridget, those are just names. What I am is an extinction entity. So, knowing what you know now, you have two choices.
Us getting shot, one of them.
You wouldn't come back if it happened here, you know. You'd be straight on to the afterlife. But no. It's not one of them. Killing you would be a terrible mistake. I know that better than anyone. The last stranding has already begun. A seam has formed from my beach and the beaches of every soul in America. And soon it will be inundated by a vast surge of antimatter starting here. In a flash, this world will be no more. Consumed by an explosion. A big bang. So, that brings us to your first choice. Do nothing. Stay here with me and bear witness to the very end.
Just watch it burn.
Together. With me. Until the last flame winks out. Doesn't sound so bad, does it? not like the world has long left anyway. Then there's the second choice. In expanding the network, you brought people and their beaches together, integrating them into a greater whole. Like this Kipu. But in doing so, you also bound them to my beach. The very beach where I opened the gates to the other side. You can't stop what's coming. But if you cut me and my beach loose, perhaps you can stop it from spreading. You might just prevent the last stranding. And mankind will live to die another day. Which is why we must sever our connection.
That'll be it. The end of the Death Stranding.
You can't stop the inevitable. The sixth extinction will happen either today or tomorrow. You can either end it with dignity, quick, clean, and in a flash, or you can struggle in vain, knowing full well what's waiting come the finish. Those are your choices. You kept it all this time. Perhaps you still have a chance to stop this nightmare. You brought the world together. You have the right to decide. Pull the rope, or cut the noose. But whatever you do, don't hesitate. I'm ready, Sam Strand. Make your choice.
Wait. I don't know what to do.
Sure you do. After everything, how could you not?
I'm here for you. Always. Like you were for me.
Here. It's a dream catcher. Wear it when you sleep, and I'll keep the nightmares away. I'll always be with you. When you're all grown up, you'll need it to make us whole again. And when the time comes, you'll have to stop me. You are the only one who can. Promise you'll remember. Sam, I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
I remember. You knew. You always knew.
I did and I didn't. I had so many dreams of the future. I didn't know which ones to trust. Which is why I decided to share them with you and the others. But to connect the dots, to make sense of everything, you need perspective. You need time. Time has no meaning to me. I am not a line. I am a single point. Which is why all I could do was just show you the choices and let you decide.
Our nightmares are your dreams.
You found the common thread, the strand that links them together. And you did that the only way possible. To live life one day at a time. Thank you, Sam. A gun won't help you here. But it still has a role to play. It was the bonds between people that brought the world together. And if that is what matters most to you, then I will stay here on this beach. And I will shut myself in and the rest of you out.
Shut yourself in, come on.
Once the last stranding starts, it can't be stopped. I can't go with you. All I can do is try to spare you the worst.
Why do you have to stay on the beach?
Sam, I am the beach. And I must stay here and ensure that the extinction happens. Even if it takes tens or hundreds of thousands of years.
Alone?
That's what an EE does. If I had just done my job, none of this would have happened. But I couldn't take it anymore. I got so tired of waiting, and I figured that no one would blame me if I just got it all over with. So, that's what I did.
Sounds like hell.
But you and the others came together, connected. And you may be living on borrowed time, but you still have hope. Before each of the Big Five, life rebelled. They fought back, evolved in order to survive. The extinction isn't just an ending. It's an opportunity. And if I have to pay the price for that, to be the sacrifice, then so be it. Even if we aren't together, we will always be connected. Goodbye, Sam. A gun won't help you here. But it still has a role to play.
Sam for the longest time had longed for a release from the struggle. We as players are put in his shoes to make the decision for ourselves to choose. Some might say this game is better off as a movie, but only by play can you internalize, then make the right decision. To not kill, like in so many video games, but to value life. But for now, we must experience Amelie's true solace on the beach for an eternity.
A gun won't help you here. But it still has a role to play.
give up. You're still connected.
For too long have we lived as strangers to one another, divided by walls built to keep us safe. But now, with the completion of the chiral network, we may at last move forward as a people united. Today we come together to celebrate the birth of a new nation for a new world, the United Cities of America. Let there be a new America. An America where we can face one another, where we can speak our minds and open our hearts. Now, the old ways die hard, but I believe, my fellow Americans, that we have the strength and the courage to rise above our past and embrace our future. The Death Stranding is a part of that past. An enduring shadow. A constant reminder of what could have been.
America's new president praises Sam and his team for his effort, but Sam wants none of it. He was never one for heroics in the first place.
Going somewhere, Sam? Tired of being the unsung hero?
No, I'm done is all. She's gone.
Come on, wait. There's something I need to tell you. Huh. This doesn't bother you anymore? Well, that's great. In the end, this is what led us to you. The plan was for Fragile to, in essence, slingshot Lou and me to your position so we could rescue you. Ironic, isn't it? The gun that set this whole mess in motion ends up being the key to saving you.
Amelie, she said it had another purpose.
Not a weapon, but a lifeline. A stick that became a rope. I suppose that's one way of putting it.
With the opening quote, we are led to believe that this was a conflict between tools and weapons, but Deadman infers that this line we cross is an illusion. Hicks was wrong, it was never rope versus stick. Humanity can still connect even without shaking hands, for just like Alfred Nobel's invention, dynamite was created for mining, it inevitably led to being used as a weapon, and the most essential tool we dispose of today, the internet. We live on the internet, it's what's keeping us from isolating and losing sight of the outside world, for isolating us even more to stoke fear and insecurity of modernity, and this risk becomes a political tool. With the restored network, Deadman discovered that Die Hardman is actually a former US Special Forces assigned to the President and to Clifford Unger. He tells us not to trust him anymore.
Sam. I don't expect you to forgive me. But would you hear me out? I killed Captain Clifford Unger. I would tell you I did it for America. For love of country. But I didn't. I did it for her. Because I loved her with all my heart. She was everything to me. Everything. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses. I just want you to know that not a day's gone by when I haven't thought about it. Time didn't help. Or the mask. Please, let me finish. The captain, saved my life. You know why they call me Die Hardman. Because he wouldn't let me die. He brought my sorry ass back home every time. And I loved him as much as I loved her. And when he stared me down, that ghost, I knew he was here to kill me, to make it right. And why shouldn't he? Why didn't he? He couldn't save his kid, his baby. And that's what brought him back. I guess when he saw I was trying to do my part for America, he remembered who he was. And he forgave me. God! But I don't deserve it, God damn it! There is no atoning for what I've done. Damn God! But maybe this is the next best thing. Maybe he brought me back from the beach for a reason. One last time. He wanted me to do this. To keep on being Die Hardman.
No. He didn't. Nobody wants a president who acts like they're immortal. And if you're not scared of death, how can you value life? And life is pretty fucking fragile right now. And yeah, the old ways die hard. But that's what's gonna have to happen if we're gonna come together and build a better America. That gun won't help you here. That's her words, not mine.
Could you just take us through your thought process of why you decided not to wear a
Well,
mask?
I did wear. I had one on before. I wore one in this back area, but I didn't want to give the press the pleasure of seeing it. I was tested this morning, so it's not necessary.
I'm viewing our great citizens of this country, to a certain extent and to a large extent, as warriors.
But they have to go back to work. Then there'll be a lot of death.
Hey, Sam. Been waiting for you.
Lou?
We encounter Dead Man with our dead baby. He tells us we need to cremate it before necrosis kicks in.
Before you leave, I'd like to check something quickly. I just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you.
Thanks for everything. How's the weather?
Don't think you'll be needing an umbrella. I decided to follow my father's dream after all. Don't worry. I won't get mixed up with any terrorists this time. UCA's got my back. We're the first private delivery company to get the official approval.
Sounds like you're moving up in the world. Congratulations.
There's something I have to tell you. I didn't shoot Higgs. Couldn't pull the trigger. So I let him choose. Death or eternal solitude on the beach.
Fair enough. You never did like breaking things.
That's right. I find and fix what's broken. And reconnect. Wanna come work for me? Could use a man like you.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
What isn't? But we're still here. We're still chugging along.
Not everyone. Not me.
Come on. You put America back together, didn't you?
Doesn't mean there's a place for me. I've got no ties to anyone or anything. I might as well be dead. I felt like that when we first met in the cave. I still do.
Don't act like you're the same person. You've learned how to touch, to feel. You've connected with people. With us.
Everything I touch, I lose.
Sam! What does America mean to you? Way my dad made it sound, we were something special. The glue that held it all together. More than a nation. A symbol of freedom and hope. We could bring it all back if we kept on making deliveries and connecting people. He was sure of it.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started. The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up chiral network terminals. But these terminals are still isolated. We need you to bring them online. And for that, you'll need a Cupid. This is how we'll rebuild our country.
She's fine. Extinction's on hold for now.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
What's the other mark from?
Clingy woman in a cave.
I see. Aphanphosphobia. Sam, I owe you an apology. Lou was the name you were going to give your own baby if he'd have made it. I should have pieced it together sooner.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one I wanted to send, Sam. Time's running out. Help Amelie. She needs you.
When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. A purpose that cannot fulfill outside the pod. There is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it.
We get the full picture of what happened to Clifford Unger, how his unborn son was going to be the foundation for the chiral network before the Death Stranding. John Die Hardman gives him a way out.
Don't hesitate, sir. This is the only chance you'll get.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I screwed it up. I've ruined everything.
Open it up inside.
Move, dumbass!
BB. Don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out, there's no pretending. I will hold you and protect you. So let love hold you till the When I found out I
was gonna be a father. I was so scared. Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you and your mom. No matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed anymore. Couldn't leave you all alone. I couldn't.
Get off of him! Now!
I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared. It made me brave. I'm sorry. Sorry it took me so long.
Captain, look at you.
Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Oh my God.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John.
Let it go. Please.
Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
You told me your name was Sam Porter. But you're Sam Bridges. My son. My bridge to the future. Without you, I was just like any other Cliff. A dead end. No way forward. Nothing but an obstacle. Looking on at the world people like you were trying to build. Dividing people was the only thing I was ever good at. But not you, Sam. You bring people together. You're their bridge to the future. And mine. Come on, Sam. Stand up.
Is this me?
God. Not BB2.
No, 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 no! There you are.
By bringing Sam back to life, Emily upset the balance of life and death. The beach would now return any dead back to the world of the living as BTs, triggering the Death Stranding.
Take him out of the pod. I'll raise him as my own.
You want to go home? Let's go home.
We have been here before. We watch your petty world slumbering. You cannot defy the cold of our steel. You can only surrender.
I returned.
Evangelion marked it before and after, a broken, isolated world struggling to connect, plugging progress to a halt. A protagonist who also suffers from Sam's same affliction, fear of intimacy, from the loss of his family and a mostly absent father and mother figure, yet his longing for their mother touch remains. The libidinous truth of conflict lies with their mother figure, a journey of self-acceptance, the hedgehog dilemma. We the player and Sam win the game not by dividing people but by connecting back with the world. Accepting that every touch, relationship, word spoken carries a fundamental risk in our age. Risk is not guaranteed catastrophe, it is the anticipation of catastrophe. In this anticipation that brings out the worst in us, be it terrorism, invasion, ecological exhaustion, Nerve and Emily believed that humanity is doomed, and the only way to move on to the next stage of evolution was to become one. They returned to the one organism, the one cell, a new blank slate, where borders between us don't exist. Just like Shinji every time he was inserted inside the Evangelion, he was returning to their mother's womb. So is Sam every time he connects into his BB, a state of without any struggle, only blissful nothingness. When the extinction event is upon their will, without a second guess, we choose life. We learned this lesson through gameplay. The beach is not only a symbol of transition between the dead and the living, land and ocean, but of progress. Oceanic life evolves to walk on land, just like we can over time, the time we're in. It takes one touch to doom the world, but it takes all of us to keep it standing.
Wake up. Wake up. Come on. Wake up! Wake up. Ew.
Nothing lasts forever, not even the world. But we gotta keep it going as long as we can, right? Patch the holes, change the parts, all that. So we can say we had a good run, that we lived.